Wi-Fi extenders, for the most part, for me, are a waste of money. Access points nowadays really don't make much sense when we have mesh routers available. And when the routers are so inexpensive, it doesn't make any sense to me as a technician to go through the complexity of the setup and the details of maintenance with regarding firmware updates for each individual networking device from access points. Whereas when you have a mesh system like the TP-Link Deco system, you update just the main router and it automatically updates the firmware on the satellites at the same time. So you don't have to go to each device individually and configure, maintain it. You don't have to unplug one thing because your internet went down. Now you've got to unplug 3 or 4 things. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. I just can't see doing it that way. I'm a big fan of keeping everything simple for this very reason. I also want to stay in business. So I'm always going to recommend the simplest answer or the simplest solution that, in my opinion, makes the most sense when we're talking expense, time of use to get it configured, reliability, and long-term maintenance. So when you set up a hodgepodge or a kludge to get something to work because it's what you got laying around the house, that's your nightmare to maintain and to diagnose when things don't work. I don't want any part of that because I want to stay in business. It's, in most cases, much easier to buy a modern router, locate it centrally in your building, put it somewhere as close to the middle as you can get it, and most modern routers at $100 or above are going to cover the entire area. So unless you live in a dwelling that's over 3,000, well, let's say over 2,500 square feet, and unless you put the router to one side of the building or the other, if it's in the middle, it should cover the entire building, including multiple floors. Unless you have a lot of network traffic from neighbors, or like I mentioned, an apartment where everybody around you is broadcasting, then you have a lot of congestion and interference. Or the materials your building is made out of. The older houses, like in the 1800s, before they had drywall, those can be very difficult walls to get through. And those houses can be very difficult to hardwire. They're just not as easy to get in there and run cables through the walls. I've had customers that have struggled trying to get signals, especially in these older houses, ever since the invention of Wi-Fi, and they've absolutely convinced themselves they just have to live with it, but it's no longer true. Like that RAX 120, for $130 on that used router, I'll keep harping on it. That'll easily cover their entirety of their house, and all those dead zones they've lived with for the last 15 or 20 years, they're gone. No more Wi-Fi extenders, no more need to pair one router to another as an access point. None of that's required anymore with a modern router. And if that modern router is affordable, and you're just maintaining one device, one firmware, one thing to reboot, one thing to check when things aren't working, that means your overall experience with it will be more positive. Your downtime will be less likely because you only have the one device to fail. And configuring things to work, like port forwarding when you're going through another router, is a nightmare. So those solutions to me are very hodgepodge, band-aid, sweep it under the rug, worry about it tomorrow. This gets me through today. That's not the kind of work I do because, again, it would make me look bad and it would probably put me out of business every time the customer called me to fix it and demanded I do it under warranty. I would go out of business. So if I wouldn't do it, I wouldn't recommend you do it. Just do it once, do it right, and be done with it. Knock all that other nonsense out of here. There's no reason for that anymore, except in really bizarre circumstances. And those people usually have good money. Like if you're trying to cover 9,000 square feet, buying a $1,500 router to do it is reasonable. Chances are, if you have a 9,000 square foot building, you can afford $1,500 for the router, right? A lot of people who are saying, hey, $130 router is too much, probably live in a smaller house, probably, and their Wi-Fi needs are probably quite simple. So they don't need anything that powerful and likely wouldn't need an extender unless what they're using is more than 5 years old. But again, even TP-Link makes some routers at the $80 price point, $70, $80. That would probably be the only router they would need in that environment. Now, I'm making some generalizations here, but they're not just made up out of my imagination. I do this for a living. I go to people's homes. I've been there, done that, and there are certain patterns that emerge that you can expect budget-wise and need-wise for the customer. And sometimes people are just, they have things laying around the house and they just want to use it. I've seen people do that. I've seen people say, what other slots can I fill in my computer? Why? Well, because I want them all filled. Why? Well, because it looks empty without anything in there. So they don't actually have any need. Their need's an emotional one. And that can be a little frustrating for me to say, the more we add, the more complex it gets, the more difficult it gets to be to diagnose when things go wrong. Unless you have a need for something, don't just put something in there because it looks empty. That's silly. Just don't look at it. Spray paint the inside of the glass black and you won't have to look at it.